Hello, Impact Wrestling fans. We are back again. Discuss Impact. I'm Jay, here with Gary, the Horror King. He's got his own YouTube channel. You can check that out. It's linked here. And if you're listening on a podcast app, which we are now available on pretty much everywhere, just search for Gary's Movie Emporium. What's up, Gary? You got some dedication or something?
Oh yeah, I'd like to send a dedication to the family of Antonio Inoki, very prominent legend in the wrestling industry. Born in 1943, just died a few days ago at age 79. He spent a better part of his career with New Japan Wrestling. He too was involved in politics. Not that we're going to get into politics on here, but he served a few terms here and there throughout the 80s, 90s, and into the teens, so 2000.
I did not know that. Interesting.
Yeah,
Also,
rest in peace.
Also, happy birthday to our boy Robles, who had a birthday at the same time as Bound for Glory. So that was pretty cool, especially if he enjoyed it. Not sure. Poof. There's a lot we're going to have to get into here. And let me start off with let's just give our quick grades. And yeah, I'm not sure what order we're going to get into other than just, I'm going to bitch about some things quickly. Maybe not quickly, maybe the entire time. I don't know. What was your grade overall?
On the whole, Bound for Glory
Yeah,
extravaganza
out of 10.
out of 10. I probably would give it about an 8.25.
Okay. For anyone that cares, 411 Mania. Cook gave it a 7.8. And I'm going to go. Oh, man, it's such a hard one for me. Taking everything into account, which I shouldn't, and I know it's unfair, I'm going to go with like 7.5, which isn't terrible. It's still a good show. But yeah, there's a lot of things I didn't like, and some of it has to do with things that happened after the show, like certain people. I mean, I guess I could say it now. Like most of Honor No More, it sounds like have left or are leaving, or yeah, I mean, they even had like. Well, I'm not gonna get into spoilers at this point. We will mention it later. We do have some spoilers we want to talk about. We will after the show. After this, we talk about Bound for Glory, but we'll do a big hey, the spoilers coming thing. Um, but I'm kind of like it seems like I don't know more is over. Eddie lost the main event here. I forget what else they lost here, but whatever. I don't know, Gary. What do you think?
About the whole pay-per-view as a whole.
Just I don't know. Just Honor No More.
Oh,
I don't.
Honor No More. Yeah, they're definitely a big piece. They're the big focal point of our show weekly. And if the rumor is true, or we're leaning towards that way, they will be missed for sure. It's hard to replace a faction when you got guys that are so talented, and then to see them go so abruptly, it's gonna sting.
Yeah. So feel free to bash me for saying, hey, that's not part of the show. But yeah, I know. But I'm kind of putting it all together. And usually I never read. I haven't been reading spoilers lately unless it's like, we see something and we feel like talking about it as part of the show at the end. But I actually did this time just because of the results of this show, which I never say this, but like I hated the booking on pretty much every match. Or not hated, but disliked. And then I don't know, it's like a weird thing. Like, is it fair to grade something low because I didn't like the winners of the matches? I don't know. What do you think? Is that like
It's
fair?
definitely fair. I'm kind of right there with you with a lot of the matches throughout the night. I noticed a lot of them were going the opposite way. I mentioned before we went to air, but I noticed too at some point of the night I was like, okay, so we're going this way with the pay per view. So I was trying to look for all the good things to kind of counter it. Like I was very impressed with the chemistry between uh, Taya Valkyrie and Jessica. I
Yeah.
was very impressed. They were on the same page. I honestly thought Vex would walk over them pretty convincingly here. I was really surprised at some of the events throughout the night with the different the matchups. Didn't have any. I had missed the pre-show, and somebody told me Dirty Dango showed up on the pre-show. I wasn't really. I'm not a big Fandango fan. I'm gonna be honest with you here. But he put on a pretty solid match considering he's kind of like been in limbo for so long. I don't know. There's a little bit of everything I liked.
I would say not many people are Fandango fans, so don't feel too bad about that one. To me, it's like, I don't know. It's like Fandango, you know? Like, I don't know. I don't want to say it started the show off. Like, give me like a to start the show, but it kind of did.
But he was over, though. I will say that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
He was over at Albany.
Oh, yeah, sorry. We got to mention the crowd was really good.
And the venue looked gorgeous. I'd like to see us go back here more often if we're able to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much everything about this was like the crowd was good. The show looked great. Like, you know, with the crowd, like you said.
And I got a little bit of a cosmetic kind of thing in the venue. We had actual LED screens on both sides that were like TV monitor kind of things going on. Yeah. Kind of like I've asked for kind of a different setup for the venue, and I was pretty tickled about that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you have mentioned that in the past. And all right, like maybe you mentioned the one already, the Vexed match. Like that's like a perfect one for me. So I feel like that like encapsulates the show. How's that for a big word? Like it was a good match, but I just felt like Vexed. Like I thought this was like an obvious match where they would kind of solidify themselves as champions, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean they look you know, they look like the better team on paper. I mean, when you see their gear, you know, how they have the chemistry, they got the friendship thing going on, you know, the real life friendship kind of thing going on.
And I mean, I don't know, I thought the Death Dolls were kind of a mess or in a messy situation there with the three of them, but I don't know. Maybe that'll lead to them quickly losing the titles or something. I'm not sure. Maybe Rosemary goes solo. Who knows? We'll find out. But yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that outcome. I mean, I just thought like Deanna, and now I shouldn't even think like this, but now like when someone loses, I'm like, shit. Now are they gonna leave? Like Chelsea or Deanna, which would really suck. But that shouldn't be part of my thinking. So whatever. Let's go to the match a lot of people have been talking about. Even Mike Bailey himself tweeted about, saying he heard a lot of fans didn't like the outcome or something like that. I think he tweeted. But I mean, hell of a match.
I'm not gonna lie, I was one of them. I'm a huge Mike Bailey fan. I don't know. I don't understand how you build him up for all this winning streak is defending the title 9 times, and half the time that Christopher Daniels did it, and then you have him get beat by one half of the team that was part of Daniels' better part of his career.
Yeah.
Kind of head scratching for sure.
Sorry, I'm trying to find a tweet, and it's possible I made this up and it didn't actually happen, because now I cannot find the tweet. That is very odd.
Maybe they had him delete it.
Okay, well, whatever. As I look for that, I do have a little note here from myself. I'm cool with Kaz as champ. I think, I mean, first of all, does anyone hate Kazarian? Like, that's not the problem, you know?
No.
I think it's more, I think a lot of people are worried that he's going to bring the title to, what's his name? AEW.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any chance in the world that's happening. And that was you know, that's like not based on spoilers or anything. That was based on Kazarian. I read something recently where he kind of spoke about them in not so nice of a light, let's say.
Of AEW?
Even though they just re-signed him. Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. No, I thought they were saying that he didn't feel that way about Impact. And so it's who's with now? Okay.
I forget where I read this or where he said this, but it wasn't like he was bashing them. It was more like, you know, they don't have, you know, spots for everyone or whatever. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I made it up. Here you go, though. Many people are unhappy with the results of my match with Frankie Kazarian, and I am too. I give it my all. Kaz is a true legend, and we had the best X Division matches of all time and helped make Bound for Glory a historic event. But I lost. Now we rebuild and come back stronger. I mean, cool from Bailey.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I kind of get it in a way too, though. I mean, you are elevating the title, even though you're not putting it on one of your guys. You're getting it on the AEW product. You're putting it out there. It's being seen in more homes. The title.
Well, that's the thing. Will he even show up on AEW with the title?
I
don't know.
That's what I mean. You'd know better than I. I'm not gonna try to test the waters by watching a show just to see that. So
I would strongly guess no.
Yeah.
So like, and I don't know. I feel like they definitely or obviously have a relationship going, but like they're really not getting much out of it. Like in that case, like put the goddamn belt on. Like Kazarian, like they got 900 belts over there anyway. Jesus, let Kazarian show up with the Impact title. At least mention it again. But like they won't do that. Like I know they won't. Like even fucking WWE did that shit with Mickey James. I mean, like that was huge.
Yeah.
And like they got this relationship with them, and they can't even get like anything out of it. It sucks.
Yeah, it's hard to know what they're gonna do. I just know we got a bunch of things happening, and that are lined up for us, like Sin City Showdown tapings. We got Overdrive's pay-per-view. All I could think of is we got a lot more, bigger things on the back burner going on down the road, and we can hope that the titles and the booking gets better from here on out. That's all we can ask.
Yeah. I'm not sure where to jump to next. All right, let's just get to the part that the other match that many people are talking about, which is the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. I have so many reasons to dislike this match, and not even the match, but what happens, because I'm a fan of the whole like having a thing where you have like the gauntlet, you have the number one contender thing, and you can kind of keep that in your pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Ace had something like this. I forget if he did, but I'm pretty sure Ace Austin had something similar, like a briefcase.
They had mentioned that Moose had won Call Your Shot Gauntlet last time on it. So
and then did he use it? And then is that how he won the title? That's how he won the title, right? When he took out,
he used it like that same night or whatever. Like after Josh fought the main event against, what was it? Who did he fight? I couldn't remember.
I'm blanking on it, but yeah, that was an awesome use of that, and he held it for a long time. And okay, let's just get to it. Bully Ray returned here, if you haven't heard by now. And he ended up winning the match, which, I don't know. I don't like, because I'm pretty sure, like, I would just guess he's not going to be around for like a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I do know for a fact. I'm wondering if he's still part of more talent relations kind of thing, because like he's kind of being more like of a goodwill ambassador for wrestling, or bad will, if you will, for people that don't like him. But he has shown up in NWA, and he kind of came off as somebody like an ambassador for wrestling. I do know he showed up in the ring, didn't he, with something to do with Cardona or something like that recently.
I can't keep up with the NWA stuff, to be honest. Like, it's just too much with Cardona and.
Yeah, I mean, but I totally get what they're going for. And like I stated before we went to air, I wonder if they're just trying to get that cheap pop, just because it's because I mean, I kind of felt like it was, you had Rhino returning, you had Tommy Dreamer actually seeing TV time. You had, it just was like the venue was screaming ECW. So I don't know if they were trying to get that rub from ECW. I notice Impact will do that every so often. They'll try to get that nostalgia factor, and that can work really good sometimes. And sometimes it feels a little bit, too fail-safe-ish for a wrestling promotion like Impact that's been around for over 20 years.
Yeah, this might be the problem with being a long-term fan. I feel like I've seen this like 50 times where, like, they do the ECW thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, some people might consider it cool, the cool factor, and then other people will be like, how many times are we going to see this,
Yeah. Bobby, I actually thought Bobby Fish was win when I saw him come
Yeah,
in here
yeah,
because
I
like
did too. It wouldn't have surprised me.
what he's like would have been kind of guy who doesn't really have. Well, Macklin maybe.
Yeah, because it did end up coming down between Bully Ray and Macklin, and I thought for sure they were going to put Macklin over here.
I feel like they have no idea what to do with Macklin, or like they just won't pull the trigger on him for some reason. Like he's getting really close, but I don't know. Maybe too
Yeah,
soon.
I'm afraid if you don't do something with him sooner or later, he might snap up another offer.
Yeah, or maybe he already did. I mean, I'm starting to worry too much about all these things, and feel free to bash me for being negative, but
No, go.
Impact did tweet a match where the Bullet Club will be facing Dreamer and Bully. So I think that's happening on Thursday. And like just seeing that match was like, ugh. Sorry. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, like I don't want to be so negative, but like, who's gonna like look at that and be like, shit, I need to see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially these days where like there's so many goddamn great wrestlers, and I feel like Impact is trying to do, not trying, but they do. Like, they put on great matches all the time. And like, what the hell are these guys gonna do? Like, I don't know. Like you said, maybe it's just a New York thing where they're trying to, it works up there or whatever.
Well, I mean, I didn't really see what the sense of maybe bringing, what was his name? Joe Hendry? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Joe Hendry. I didn't understand what the point of building him up, saying he's basically going to enlighten Impact and all this, and then didn't he get like thrown out by somebody that wasn't exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I feel like he's already set up as like a comedy guy.
Yeah, kind of almost like a Simon Dean kind of thing.
Yeah, like I don't know, because that's how you introduce the guy, and maybe I'm crazy, but I felt like what the hell, Jesus, Johnny Swinger lasted really long. Was I? Was it? Did he really? He did, right?
Yeah, he did. I think he was like, what is it? Wasn't he like the final 6 or 7 guys or so?
Let me say, I love Swinger, but like, come on, like he should
Yeah.
not. Like, let friggin' Tasha, like, who got? I thought it was weird how she got tossed out by. We mentioned it.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah, I
started talking.
Think back about it was really random. Like I said, I don't know if it's that New York, and with I know she was never part of LAX, but I wonder if it's a LA. She's Puerto Rico, but I mean that LAX kind of, New York kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think also, I mean, just Bully being, douchebag bully who always,
and a bully, yeah.
Like tossing a girl, like that's kind of, just like doing whatever he can to be a total heel. And let me just say, I love the Bully Ray character, which I know is going to sound really weird right now, but like I loved it, 10 years ago? Like whenever he was big.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was an awesome character. Like that whole thing was awesome, but it was like 10 years ago. Like, I don't know. Like I don't want to keep going back to like we all bash WWE for doing this shit. Then I feel like we got to do it to Impact.
Well, I mean, the only thing I'm going to comment about Bully Ray that I was somewhat impressed with, it did look like he'd been back in the gym somewhat, and he stayed pretty trim. Since last, I will give him that credit.
Definitely, I'm
solid.
I can't say enough. I'm not shitting on Bully Ray. Like Tommy Dreamer, yeah, a little bit, but like Bully Ray is. I don't think there's anyone even on the roster who wouldn't get eviscerated on the mic by him.
Oh, yeah.
Like, who would you even put against him on the mic? I can't think of anyone.
Would have to make me think of it. I mean, yeah, it's tough.
Sammy, maybe. Like, I really don't know. It's EY. Like, I'm trying to quickly go down the roster.
Reach in there because I mean, you got a damn good point with it. I mean, it is hard to compete with Bully Ray on the mic. So.
And I mean, I don't want to say it's sad, but it kind of is. Like the fact that it's like 10 years later, and like, I mean, if like a guy like Eli Drake was around, I'd be excited for that. Like, that would be like awesome and back and forth. Like he'd probably make fun of him being old or whatever, and Bully would be cool with that, and he'd probably put him over. But like, I don't know what the end game is. He's obviously not beating Josh. I mean, let's all get real for a second. I don't have to get into spoilers for that. And if
I don't think you go with Bully Ray over Josh when Eddie couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And if he does, we might rename the show to Gary and Jay's Movie Emporium when Gary's Movie Emporium is busy or something. But yeah, I mean, like I just don't know what you do with him in the future, but I guess we'll see. Again, guy's a goddamn monster on the mic, so he could do something interesting.
What
I don't know.
a lot of the problem with our take with this pay per view, especially, is it's not typical Impact. I feel like they're trying to go the ECW route where we're all thinking they're going to book it this way, and they go left with it.
Yeah, that's probably not
I
fair.
do know that's what Taz said. That's what made ECW successful, is making people second guess what they were doing.
I mean, I will say that every goddamn match, like I would have picked the opposite, and I bash AEW all the time because I feel like I can pick the winner of 99% of their televised matches. Like it's so goddamn easy. Like there's one good team against a bad team, or like one good guy against a much worse guy. But like I would have been wrong on, man. How many matches
Maybe
are on
this
this?
is the
8?
episode tonight where we should just avoid giving grades to the matches and just kind of tell
Yeah.
our thoughts throughout, just because there's a lot of
There's so much that goes into like all of them.
there's a lot of negativity surrounding this pay-per-view, and that's not fully on Impact. I mean, I think that's some on expectations, maybe not so much you, but like high expectations from other people I've heard. You know,
I mean, look around. It's not just me. I mean,
it's definitely all over.
The fact that what's his name had to tweet that, and Ace Austin tweeted something about like how hard it is to make fans happy these days or something. Like, it's weird that wrestlers are like.
Internet really is to blame for a lot of the less of enjoyment of wrestling. I've always thought that.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, like the fact that like these guys are pointing it out, like obviously something. I feel like something was wrong. You know what I mean? The fact that they had to come out and point it out, like, hey, relax, everything's not that bad. It's not the end of the world.
I mean, I don't think I disliked it maybe say as much as you did, but there was definitely issues, and I'd be blind as a fan if I didn't say there was stuff wrong with this pay-per-view.
I mean, if I was just going by the actual show and I didn't know things like Honor No More or like most of them, or I mean, you can actually I forget whose wife it was, but she thanked everyone from Impact Wrestling last night. I noticed a tweet like right before we recorded. Taven. I'm gonna guess it's Taven's wife.
Oh, Taven has a wife?
Or maybe not. Someone's wife? I don't know. She was in the picture with like all of the Honor No More group, and it was like, we want to thank you. So.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't even know he's married. So if he's married,
well, maybe it's not Taven's wife, but one of them. I mean, who else could it be? Vincent, maybe Vincent's wife. I mean, I don't know.
It could have been
PCO. Somebody married to that freak. Just
yeah.
Kidding, love the guy. And again, I mean, God, if he leaves, he's the only name I haven't seen that like isn't leaving. But
yeah,
I mean, God,
I don't know. I heard he's good until at least sometime this month, by the end of the month. But I don't know how true that is.
And also, that's a big part of it. Like, I became a Matt Taven fan. Like, like I hated this dude.
Oh yeah, that's
and PCO. Like this is like months and months of like building them to make fans like them, and like boom, they're gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely miss not talking about Matt Taven on the show. I mean,
PCO, geez,
wherever you go, but you're always welcome back at Impact anytime.
Yeah, especially like 6 months from now when you're booked like shit, along with everyone else you go with. But whatever. Gotta mention Raven. Maybe one of the highlights of the show. Actually, the highlight for me was him DDTing Dreamer.
Yeah,
and I tweeted something like the longest term story in the history of fucking wrestling, and like I love it. Like it never ends. Like Dreamer and Raven have been feuding for what 40 fucking years now.
Yeah, he didn't they say he was the 11th inductee?
Wow, to the Impact Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Wow, I could not name 10.
Well, I got them right here if you need them named.
Sure.
Okay, Sting, Kurt Angle, Team 3D, Jeff Jarrett, Earl Hebner, Gail Kim, Abyss, Ken Shamrock, and Awesome Kong.
Oh, wow. I probably would have got maybe 5 of those.
And I guess you could kind of call 3D actually 2 people, so.
Yeah. All right, just rolling down. I really enjoyed the Mickie James Mia match. Now you thought Mia would win this one, and
just because that's our big pay-per-view to end the year. Really, where do you go from here? I mean, you build Mickey as going on to the next, live event, but it's not going to have the feel it would have, say, at Bound for Glory, like to lose at Bound for Glory. And then, like, I don't know, I just feel like Mia is becoming a whipping dog, for like people for her to lose to. Like, right before that, didn't she lose to Jordan Grace too? I mean, I kind of got that one because she was a champion, but I just kind of feel like she's gotten to be kind of jobberish lately.
Yeah, this is one of those matches I didn't like because I thought Mickey was definitely going to win because this whole last rodeo thing, I feel like it has to last longer. Like,
I did too, definitely. But I got thinking about maybe they were going to pull the Undertaker ending, and surprise us and have her just lose.
Yeah, especially since every other goddamn match had a shock ending, to us at least. But I mean, awesome match. She's fantastic, Mia. I don't know. I have a note here. Code of Honor. What the fuck? Did you notice they did the Code of Honor?
Who's that, Jay?
Mia and Mickey.
Oh, no, I didn't know. Did they really? No, I didn't notice that.
What is that about?
No, I never caught that. You mean like they shake hands, you mean, kind of thing?
Yeah, I don't want to see that. That's a Ring of Honor thing, and now we're pretty much out of the Ring of Honor, guys, so I don't want to see any of that shit anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I don't know if that's just, I don't know, the thinking of the bigger picture, not for them, but like, Forbidden Door kind of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. And then we mentioned the Death Dolls defeated Vexed. I would say this wasn't my favorite. This was one of my least favorite matches, but I mean, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, I noticed like Jessica looked a little more fluent than she's looked recently, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm not a big fan of the gimmick, but I got a little bit more respect for her after the pay-per-view with her showing up for the pay-per-view and actually looking inspired, like, she's hungry for a title again.
Yeah, I've always been a Havoc fan. I think she's underrated, and just because I'm not a fan of this character like you, I don't really hold against her, and she looks like she's having fun out there, and she looked really good out there during the match. So good job, and congratulations to the new champs. Even though I would have liked to see Vex keep them for a little longer, they don't solidify that, but whatever. And that's mostly because I think those titles have kind of bounced around a bit, and there hasn't been like one real tag champ that was like solidified since Fire and Flavor. Yeah.
Well, too, there was a bit of a positive thing for you to spin on this pay-per-view. Seems a lot of it was not really in your ballpark, if you will. Like I said before we went to air, Brian Myers retained his title, and I believe he's as of the tapings, he was 99 days as digital media champion.
Well, that is cool, and I give him props for that. I'm a Myers fan. Hope he sticks around. And I mean, it's so weird because I didn't hate the show. I just there's somebody it's like a lot of the things around it. Like again, like if I don't know more wasn't leaving, if I don't know, a lot of booking decisions I didn't like we said about the
totally fair. Yeah, the booking was.
And then here's another one. Masha versus Jordan. Now I'm just going to say exactly what I said last time, where I didn't think Masha was ready, but I feel like she had to win because of the situation they put her in. I feel like I kept saying Goldberg, like they Goldberged her, but then she lost the match to Hogan. So it's like, I'm kind of like, now we can see what would Goldberg do if he lost that match to Hogan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but to be fair, this match, I noticed it brought something out of Jordan. I think she had to dig so far deep down to get this win. So I kind of felt like even though Masha lost, I don't think Jordan's going to be the same again after facing Masha, because I think she took her to her limit. I think it's been a while since somebody's made her go that hard in a ring. So
yeah, I do think this is one of the few times where I will say that losing didn't hurt her that much. The only problem is, I mean, Jordan is incredible. She might be the best in the world. She looks goddamn ridiculous right now. Um, like just
Well,
everything she does, she's so
she's slimmed
fluent.
down too. She's
Yeah, yeah,
rededicated herself.
yeah, insane how much. I don't like talking about women's bodies. I don't want to get canceled on my own goddamn show. I would have to cancel myself, which would be really embarrassing. But yeah, I mean, I used to love like the look she had, like when she was like bigger. But like now she's like jacked as shit, and she's lost a crazy amount of weight. So I mean, awesome for her. I mean, I can't even imagine I can't lose goddamn 10 pounds, but that's for another podcast. And yeah, again, they think this is all about. Like, I love Jordan. I don't think she should have lost. I think she's the best. And but they just kind of put, to me, they put Masha in a situation where she had to win and she didn't. So we'll see. Main event, another awesome match where I, just didn't like the ending. I thought this was like built up for a year where Eddie had to win the match.
Yeah. Well, that's what I figured was going to happen. I was the opposite. I thought Alexander would retain. And then this is where I thought Honor No More would call out Eddie and then question, like, you would bash PCO for months and weeks and months and talked him down, saying he was the problem when all along he was a problem. That's what I thought was going to happen here. And it kind of does happen based on our our past tapings from this past Saturday. Kind of happens somewhat this way, but only it's Eddie belittling the team. And now we know what, is going on with Honor No More.
I mean, I guess they did have like I don't want to say an emergency breakup plan, but like something like that kind of. Maybe that's what the PCO stuff was all about this whole time. Like, hey, if they're leaving, we're going to pull the PCO button. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let them on leave.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not going to. We'll talk about, spoilers after. That was just a vague thing. And, I mean, yeah, I think it's like, but I mean, like if you're watching this show today, right? Or let's say tomorrow, and like you already read like a bunch of these things, like, I forget whose wife or whatever that was, but I mean, that like solidified that it's true. Like a bunch of these people aren't coming back. So like, right. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of fair that I'm putting that into my grade because some people will know that before they're watching this. But all right. So before, I don't know, more attacks afterwards. Rich and Heath come out. Swan's another one, man. Just kind of bouncing around, doing God knows, just like nothing, just put them in a tag team or something.
Yeah, I don't know what to really think of what they should really do with him. I mean, because to me, he really should be in the X division.
Yeah.
It's just.
Well, that's it. Put him in the X division. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand when you got, then you stay. I don't know. I've seen this go so extreme before. It's probably just about putting Heath in the X division. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me with like the head scratching that's going on. So
I'll be honest. I actually went the other way here at the end. Like at all this shit I talked about Bully Ray, when he came out with the thing at the end, I was like, oh my god. Like, because if he, you know what I mean, if he would have cashed in there, like he was a Ring of Honor guy.
Oh yeah, because he had every opportunity to.
Because he was the Ring of Honor guy. You know what I mean? Like, he was a Ring of Honor guy.
Yeah.
Like people know that, or I'm sure.
Yeah, him and Velvet Sky were there not so long ago.
Yeah, I mean, before they were ending, I don't know if he was doing backstage stuff. I'm guessing he probably did. I'm guessing he does wherever he goes. He's a smart dude who's been around, so he probably helps out backstage with shit. And I mean, I was thinking, okay, this would be cool. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
if he does it right now, you still got the, I don't know, more guys around. You fucking push Eddie to the side. Eddie becomes a face again, which I think, everybody would love. We all love Eddie. It's like, he's a hard guy to hate, even when we pretended to hate him. Like, we didn't really hate Eddie. He's just too goddamn likable.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go outside the box here a little bit with this whole call your shot kind of thing. I'm not a big fan of the trophy either. I don't know how you feel about that. I just kind of feel like that's kind of, I don't know. It's just kind of cheesy to me.
Well, it's also a weird thing to carry around. I don't know if you do have to carry it around, like when you cash that thing in, do you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's kind of the point, but I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
just a trophy in 2022. I mean,
Yeah, well,
I would
yeah,
think it'd be better, maybe a plaque or something, maybe, or a briefcase or something, just a trophy. I mean, yeah, and you can tell it's a cheap kind of the metal plastic kind of trophy thing going on. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. I just feel like it's a very uh, kind of like a cheap kind of toy kind of thing to be carrying around. I don't know. I just expect more out of a promotion that's third in the world or in the country.
yeah, that's fair. I just think it's I feel like everyone should use the goddamn briefcase just because it's like easy and you can run to the ring with it and whatever else, and or something like a briefcase. I don't know. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but okay, we missed the tag match, which again, it's the same goddamn thing I said about every other match tonight. Not tonight, sorry. Taven and Bennett held on to their titles against Motor City Machine Guns, which seems odd now.
Yeah.
And again, like great match, but like why didn't they just lose it there?
Yeah, that is a good point. I didn't really think about that coming out of that. It's like, what would have been better to just put the title one more time on one, probably the greatest. I don't know. I'd call them an X Division tag team because they interchange. They could they're the quintessential X Division star.
Literally one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you put it on them and then and then worry about the tapings or maybe have a thing at the tapings where the titles go into limbo or some shit, like what's wrong with a tag team tournament, inviting, I wouldn't care, NWA teams, AEW teams.
Hey, Tony Khan has one every fucking week, and he's doing
Why
well.
not? Everybody loves the tournament.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, I think they do. I really think they do. I think that people like tournaments. I think they like all kind of gimmick shit. Again, also no gimmick matches on this, which not a big deal, but I'm kind of a fan of. So that probably also led a bit to my
Well,
dislike.
did you notice at one point at the pay-per-view, a big positive here for Impact though? Tom Hannafan mentioned Impact Wrestling's coming out with action figures coming soon.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Featuring Deanna Prato.
I'm actually going down the some comments on 411, and pretty much everyone loved this show, which on 411, which is pretty odd. I mean, there's some like.
Over.
I mean, geez, wow, I'm actually really surprised. Like saying bad ratings, and somebody says Josh Eddy and Masha Jordan are two of my all-time favorites. Jeez, that's a lot. All right, well, see, God, that's why. I mean, I probably changed my rating, but whatever. I am what I am. Deal with it. I mean, I'm just going down all the matches quick. Yeah, but we're not going to really talk too much about the Dango match, but I did mention it kind of started the show on a not so great thing. Maybe lead off with Raven next time because everyone loves Raven. And yeah, the Kazarian shit. We'll see what happens with that. I'm not that mad about that. I mean, it's Kazarian. I don't know about you, but like to me, that was one of the least of my problems. It was just one of them, and the fact that there was like a bunch of them, kind of stacked up.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like intrigued a little bit too, like to see where our path goes to the end of the year. We got so many events going on, and who knows? There's a lot of talent out there.
And again, I just want to point out this is not a spoiler. This is from Impact's Twitter. I mean, just in case you want to question me questioning the whole why didn't Motor City Machine Guns win it? Right now, the tag division has Tommy Dreamer and Bully Ray in it. For this upcoming, I think it's on this Thursday show, they'll be facing the Bullet Club, Ace Austin and Chris Bay, in a match where, I mean, obviously the Bullet Club is going to win, but we'll get into that in a few minutes when we get into the spoiler section. I think did we hit on everything?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was.
Guess we can jump right into that spoiler section. Everybody else, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, we just kind of like skimmed through everything because, like I said, we're getting away from the match rating tonight just because I don't know. There's just too much stigma negative stigma
Yeah, and I
surrounding
don't
the
know.
pay-per-view.
I
And
don't
that's
really.
not, just the events, not so much the pay-per-view itself.
Yeah, and I don't really know how to grade matches where they were really good, but I didn't like the winner. So
Yeah,
maybe
it's
I
kind
should, maybe I
of
should, maybe I should learn that one day. But for now, whatever, deal with it. Um, I will have my match of the night. Curious what yours was. Mine was the knockouts.
I'm gonna go with the main event, just because I'm a big walk-in weapon fan, and again he retains. I don't think there's anything more devastating than the C4 spike.
Oh
Um,
yeah, and to give credit where credit is due, Josh has been an awesome champion, and they've booked him amazingly.
yeah, I don't know who's going to be that man to unseat him as a champion.
Yeah,
I don't. I just hope we don't go the route of bringing him back Kenny Omega or
no,
something like that, and
no. I mean
get that match that was hinted at one point.
that's a big thing. Like you have to use these things to put people over in the end, or else it's all pointless.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens there. I would like to. Well, I mean, boy, Robles broke this up. He would like to see someone like Chris Bay end up beating him. But I mean, Bay would need some work, and maybe get out of the Bullet Club or become like more of a singles guy. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Now, some quick spoilers. So everyone, get the hell out of here if you don't want spoilers. So we mentioned the. Oh yeah, so that tag match I mentioned, they actually lose. So the Bullet Club loses to Bully and Dreamer, and I'll be honest, I saw that match, and I was like, shit, I have to look at spoilers because I'm gonna be so pissed off if they lose this match, and they lost the match, and like it totally added to my
And that was
brain.
Bay and Ace Austin.
Ace Austin and Bay, yeah, they lost
Yeah,
to.
well, that does not lately. That does not surprise me in a way though either, because I don't know if this is being done. Not, I mean, I know it isn't well received, of course, but I just kind of feel like it's being done for storyline purposes. Like maybe Bay breaks out on his own, and who knows, maybe Robles, maybe Robles will at least get some kind of title on his man Bay.
And even that I would be totally cool with, but it's like, what the hell has the Bullet Club done in
Yeah,
Impact? Like
yeah, they couldn't even be Honor No More back.
less than nothing. And
Yeah.
then okay, you might think, okay, well, it's one match, relax, no big deal. The next week of Impact, Bully Ray and Dreamer beat Chris Bay and Juice Robinson. So what the hell?
Yeah, that doesn't exactly land us juice, I think, in the future if we're going to have them losing to ECW older time originals,
and again, just getting to the tag champions. Heath and Rhino defeat Taven and Bennett to become new tag champions. I'm not sure where they got that from. I'm not sure where they got that match from. I guess we missed. But here you go. Ready? Edwards gets a PCO who attacks Eddie and the rest of the group. Afterwards, Bennett, Taven, Vincent, and Kanellis embrace in the ring, indicating they are done. Crowd gives them a nice send-off. So that's Bennett, Taven, Vincent, and Maria.
Oh, so Vincent is part of that too?
Not PCO, like I mentioned before.
Yeah,
Okay, so
that kind of sounds like maybe he's going back to his old faction with who was that dude there that used to be in Championship Wrestling from Hollywood? He's kind of like a circus ringleader kind of guy. I can't think of his name. He kind of has that Jake the Snake style of wrestling too. What is his name?
I don't know who the hell you're thinking about.
Slipping my mind right now.
But I mean, I'm all right with that. I don't know. Again, I feel like like Heath and Rhino. Like, I know that was a thing like last year where they were like going for the titles, but then like Heath was, coming out and kind of killing everybody. And I guess, I mean, it does fit that he would take out Honor No More to become champions and use Rhino. So I guess I'm cool with that. That's not too bad. But then we get Motor City Machine Guns defeating Shira and Raj Singh. Now, I'm pretty sure this is on Impact.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I mean, Gary just summed it up there. So on the same show, we have Shira and Raj Singh, along with Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer, as part of the tag division.
All I could think of is they were going for maybe the nostalgia factor for the live taping or whatever, and we're gonna see what happens after those 2 weeks. I'm gonna kind of sit back and kind of analyze what I think of what's going on, and then if it gets kind of like Bizarro World, I don't know. I think we're gonna need a reboot come 2020.
Yeah, and another guy is Macklin. I mean, I mentioned before, like, I just don't think they know what they're doing with him. They won't pull the trigger, and he had another huge match in a main event with Sami Callihan. Sami defeats Steve Macklin. Like, how many times can you lose? Like, this guy had an undefeated streak, and he's lost, I don't know, a lot of his last bunch of matches. So it's
I kind of feel like we give him the Mr. Anderson treatment. The guy's wicked over, and and then he gets like these matches where he doesn't come away the winner, but he doesn't exactly lose either, and it don't really do much for him, like his win-loss percentage. And and then they'll have him like right back up for a championship or something, or near to it. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. So either build them or get off the pot, as you like to say.
Yeah, it's like that with a lot of people, like Mia, bringing her back, making her a big deal, but whatever. So Kazarian hands over the X Division title, cashing it in, saying, the whole thing. I think you mentioned he's kind of stealing the story of Daniels. The one thing he's never done is win the Impact World title. So he's facing him at Overdrive. And I will tell you right now, by the name of that pay-per-view, he is not going to win. They are not going to change the new world champion in a pay-per-view called Overdrive if they didn't have Bound for Glory. So, spoiler. What else do we have here? And Josh Alexander defeated Bobby Fish by submission. So, I feel like that's another guy who might as well leave.
Yeah, well,
you had your chance. Bye.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't look a lot into taping sometimes because I don't know. I don't. I mean, I will read them, but I don't really understand what place they'll have in the show because a lot of times they film out of order. I don't know. I know that Bully and Tommy is something I don't want to see in 2022.
Yeah, I think that's a very simple way to key in on most things I'm angry about. And I mean, again, like I feel like if you're a longtime Impact fan, like I feel like we've seen this like multiple times, and I'm not sure what is interesting about this.
I think the only way I'd be willing to accept Bully Ray is more like in a faction. Like if he was, say we were to bring back Aces and Eights.
Yeah.
Give him some credible lackeys, if you will, on the team. I think you get some not guys like Wes Briscoe and Eric Bischoff's son. We don't need any of that stuff.
Yeah, but this seems like good guy Bully.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, maybe if anything, maybe we could get a face faction of Aces and Eights. I don't know, kind of like a version of.
It could make the Bullet Club more heelish. Maybe get another member.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some things to come out of this. I got to mention that, and like you said, I know I'm not big on tapings either, and I only looked because of the results of Bound for Glory. I really want to stress that again. Like I never look at these things, but like it really made me like, oh God, like you know what I mean? Like it was like, all right, if Honor No More is not there, then who the hell's gonna fill in all that time? You know what I mean? That was a big ass like.
Basically, I feel like I know I was kind of on the fence if I ever thought Bound for Glory was cursed. I honestly think the pay-per-view is actually kind of cursed at this point. And this past one kind of solidified that with all the weird goings on. I don't know. It was a little bit bizarro league wrestling a little bit. Just some of the booking decisions and I don't know, just some of the events of the night. I love the matches. It's just, I don't know. There was some really good stuff going on in the squared circle, but just as a whole, a lot of weird stuff. I think that's the reason why it almost didn't get an 8 with me.
Yeah, very weird show where we can both say we loved almost all of the matches, but didn't love this show. And like to me, it was more, I guess, the easy way to say it was like after the show ended, like I wasn't looking forward. Like I was like, well, what do I look forward to now? You know what I mean? Like the Eddie thing, like that was a huge thing. It kind of, like I mentioned to you, it felt like a season finale of a show.
See,
Now they
that would
kind of,
be a big thing with me right there. If you were thinking like Eddie or hoping that Eddie was going to win, I could see where that would suck big time. Be honest with you, and that comes from a big fan of Josh Alexander. I totally get how you would feel demoralized, if you will.
I mean, and you know, like we've been talking about this all friggin' year or whatever. Like I wasn't a Ring of Honor fan. Like I didn't like pretty much any of these guys. Like when they showed up, I was like, ugh. And then I became a huge fan of like almost all of them. And like now they're leaving, and I feel like a baby. But whatever. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of fair.
I think we're still getting used to their evolving door or revolving door, if you will, policy that we have. We embrace these guys. You're kind of like I think you even took honor, or well, you know, the kingdom, kind of like I did with Morrissey. That I feel like you. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love Matt Taven. Like I'm not gonna say I love Mike Bennett, but I do like Mike Bennett.
Yeah.
And as a team, they were a unit, and you embraced them like I embraced Morrissey. And then when we lost Morrissey, I was just like, oh man, where do you go? This guy looks hungry. I don't know how you don't slap a better paycheck in his pocket. You know what I mean? I don't understand it. He was hungry.
Yeah, well now he's in some ridiculous group that we'll never get over. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean it sucks, especially like when you see them going to like other places, and it's not even like you can follow them because you know they're going to suck there because it's just proof. It's just a fact. I mean, we've seen it again and again and again. So I don't know. I guess the most thing I'm excited that Eric Young is still part of the roster, and you know, Motor City Machine Guns. I mean, it's still got a hell of a roster, and whatever. We'll see what happens. Yeah, shouldn't be so sad and angry about all this, but I guess it's just bad timing with everything.
Well, there's a positive at the end of this podcast tonight. Any Canadian viewers or listeners or whatever, it's basically they're happy Thanksgiving tomorrow up there up north.
Oh, really?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, let me say to you Canadians, happy whatever Thanksgiving. And there's a son of a bitch who's living amongst you that you should all take down, but I'm not going to get into that now. Everyone else, happy Memorial Day, I think it is.
Huh?
Memorial Day is tomorrow, I think. I don't know.
No, Columbus Day.
Happy Columbus Day, everyone.
Only for the kids, pretty much, and in the post office.
Oh, you don't dress up like Columbus and celebrate like myself?
No, I look more like Daniel Boone, if anything.
So yeah, we've talked about a lot. Probably went a little bit too far and long, but it was bound for glory. And I don't know. I could totally see people bashing me and go right ahead. I mean,
nah,
it's like a weird thing, you know. Like it was just a weird show and like the booking and all, and the fact that even the wrestlers are kind of defending it is like it's just the whole thing was just very weird.
Maybe Overdrive will be what exactly what we'll need in 40 days. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean it's not the end of the world, even though it kind of feels like it is for me right now. We still do, as far as I know, we still have PCO, and I think you mentioned earlier you thought that Kenny King was still around, and he was in a match where it looked like he's probably still going to be around because it was after the part where OGK and Maria did like their little wave off to everyone.
Yeah, I honestly think him and sorry about that.
Yeah, King and PCO weren't part of that, just to be clear.
Yeah, my thing is I think they were hinting at having Kenny King and Speedball having a bit of a storyline going forward.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that. I don't know. That's about it, I guess.
Yeah, I got nothing else. I still think the Bound for Glory curse is very much alive for a lot of us. I didn't dislike it maybe as much as some people, but I totally get the disdain it got just because like the booking was weird and then the tapings coming out of it and The aftermath looks like it could be kind of up in the air, but stay positive, you guys.
I mean, a lot of people love the show.
Oh, did they? I didn't
Yeah.
see that much.
I mean, like a lot of different comments, like, like blasting people. Like, that's what I'm saying. I think I'm gonna get blasted because like people blasting like me for questioning, like,
What
oh,
our buddy Rain think of it, or didn't you talk to him too much?
No, I really haven't spoken to anybody about this other than tweeting a bunch, trying to talk about things too much with people until I.
We talk too much more bad about things that happen. Rain will come for.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I do worry about fans like him, and because I don't know, I don't want to be negative, but
yeah,
I also want to be realistic. Like I can't lie, like this whole I don't know more thing. Like I got so behind them this year, and like that's such a big part of it. Like I didn't like them, you know what I mean? Like the fact that I didn't like them and I grew to like them, like and then they leave, you know what I mean? That's if it was just like even if it was someone I liked, and I was like, all right, well I liked him, and I know they're popping in for a little like a James Storm kind of guy.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't know why that would have been more believable. Really, I didn't really, you know what I mean? Why couldn't we have gotten James on the horn?
Good question. Very good question. I don't know. Maybe he's filming a movie or something. Maybe I don't know why I think he might be filming a movie.
I did see something.
I don't know if I just randomly made that up. I think I did see something that he's filming a movie or something. But yeah, I mean, Storm is the kind of guy I'm always cool bringing back. But like, goddamn, not Dreamer. No offense.
I mean, even though I think bringing back Nick Aldis would have made more sense than bringing back Bully.
And again, I'm not personally. I'm okay with Bully. It's just like when you stick Dreamer in with Bully, then it just becomes like super lame.
I just like Nick Aldis. He has all that upside, because he's so much younger and
he's with friggin' Mickey, and I'm sure they'd like to work together. I'm sure they'd like to work or travel together. That would be nice. And he's not a new face, but he's like a new, older Impact face, like different than Tommy and Bully.
Yeah, and he has that name that he's wrestled in New Japan. I think he's wrestled for AEW in the past.
I was never a big fan of the guy, but he did an awesome job.
I'm not per se either.
He did a hell of a job with the 10 pounds of gold. I thought that was perfect for him, the whole 10 pounds of gold thing, being the champ. Like, I thought he nailed it. He was, like, really, really good. So, whatever. I mean, there was a spot.
There's a dude that could cut a good promo, though.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, he's probably one of the few people that can go back with Bully. But I'm interested in that. Maybe, who knows? Maybe they got Bully backstage kind of helping guys with promos, which I think is badly needed because I didn't even realize it until I started thinking about it. I was like, who the hell can go back and forth with Bully in a promo? And I couldn't think of one person. Let us know in the comments if you can.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a small number.
Yeah. All right, that's about it. Right under an hour. Sorry we went so long. Sorry we were so negative. Hopefully things change, and I won't be as negative, and Gary still has his horror channel to be positive about, so.
Yeah, and then I've even been defunct with that lately because I've been out Grubhubbing it and whatnot, making some more serious money.
Nice. Get those dollars. Everyone else, have a good one. See you next time.
See you later.